Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest. A sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us. And we are glad to have you alongside us for it. This, of course, the instantly recognisable backdrop to many a famous European night. Football's ultimate theatre. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. Messi, and Messi! Good run, lovely take, but that is where it stopped.
Well, there are a few pockets of space that are being exploited, and they need filling, and fast.
Messi. Neither of these two want to come off second best. El Shaarawy. Now, who's going to be first to this? That looks a decent ball. Madrid are looking to break at pace. Now it's Messi. Messi! Marvellous goal!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
Gorgeous! Just gorgeous!
It's almost poetry in motion, Peter, isn't it? The way he wraps his foot round the ball so effortlessly. Amazing.
Oh, in with a header! And he's there to get it away. Oh, that's well spotted. Costa Curta. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Oh, that's a key interception. And it's Snyder. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Now it's Messi. Now it's El Shaarawy. Spread neatly. That's been cut out. Well played. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out. Really has the confidence and skill to be able to hold the ball up like that until support arrives a little sooner, and just maybe there he overdid it slightly and should have released it because the support was arriving quickly.
Decent hit! Schneider.
Jordan really can't go chasing this game too soon. Any rash decisions now could see them lose it.
So to play, and it is a goal kick. Muscular approach does pay off here. Bastoni.
Look, movement creates more options, and that was really sharply done.
That is a brilliant interception. He can run onto that. Batistuta. Can he finish? Really well taken goal. 2 up now, and they are cruising. And that was as close to certain as can be.
Well, look, he moves and manufactures in unique fashion. This guy is sheer class.
Madrid are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
And that's another good win of the ball. He could be in here. Schneider. Messi. Think through. Oh, he's burst through. De Jong. It's Ronaldinho! I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Now it's Batistuta. Messi! Now, who's going to be first to this? No way through. Now it's Messi. He's found the way through. He's got a side of goal. And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Messi actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Madrid with the corner. They're first. Van der Vaart plays it short. Oh, smashing header! Oh, surely that deserved a better outcome.
Yeah, it's very well timed. A delivery like that with the right amount of pace and whip can be a nightmare to defend against.
Adams gets across to intercept that. And he's being shifted off it. That's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
It's admirable, but ultimately he didn't know when to look for support.
Oh, that's a fine interception. Pass somewhat off target. Now it's Neymar. Schneider. Oh, what a climb! Chance again? No.
This is proving to be a very good spell. The intensity is great, but they've got to make it count.
Neymar. Messi. El Shaarawy. Looking for the runner. Now it's Rodri. That's an excellent interception. Guardiola. Now it's Batistuta. Well read. Nice interception.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
Van der Vaart. Lovely bit of skill. Shapes to shoot. Loose ball. And the half-time whistle goes. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
podrán encontrar todo tipo de objetos relacionados con nuestro equipo.
So off we go once more.
Well, this half might require them to produce.
It's El-Shaarawy! It's Luke. Oh, he's been caught napping. And again. And oh, he's got that completely wrong.
Well, he did get himself into a good position. Something for him to cling to.
De Jong. That's a good ball out wide.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long...
Goes in for the header! El-Shaarawy. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. He's shifting through the gears here. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. White looking to hit the byline here. He rises! It's run. Oh, what has happened? And again! That's another chance! And more, and more, and more! And the lead is 3! It is surely done! Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, listen, last line of defence and you don't get it.
Great hit! Complete awareness. He understood what was needed and he executed it smoothly.
Well, that defence is perplexed by the fact they've allowed him the space.
Jordan give themselves a fighting chance. Back in with a shout. And here's El-Shaarawy. Well, they're looking at the referee, but he's waved play on. Schneider. Now it's Neymar. And that is as far as they're going to go.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
It's gone for a throw-in. Madrid are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Bastoni. Oh, terrible pass. And he's managed to get free. Schmeichel can pick that up. Messi gets a good foot in there. Schneider. Guardiola. It's Van der Vaart. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
And that is a little undercooked. And the pass is intercepted. Now it's Messi. Costa Curta. Schneider. Rodri. He's in plenty of space here. Ronaldinho! Well, we expected better, and so did he. Guardiola. Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Jordan looking to pass their way through. Yep, it's a corner.
Se va a producir un cambio de jugadores. El dorsal
So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
El dorsal 11. Messi. El dorsal 13.
Guardiola.
El dorsal 3. El dorsal
And now they can
18.
spring out of defence.
Serán sustituidos por el dorsal 22.
He's picked his way
El
through.
dorsal 14. El dorsal 7.
That should
El
get the job
dorsal
done.
24. El dorsal 10. Cambio de
Mohamed
jugadores.
Salah. Mohamed Salah in acres of space out wide. Alvarez! Oh, should have put that away.
He's definitely playing with a lot more conviction. This team should look to him to produce the catalyst for a comeback.
Corner number 2 then. Olise, Pedri, Alvarez! And no, he couldn't find the finish. Jordan have their third corner. And now a sudden chance to counter. And he's going for goal! And one more try! He's got a goal! And what a climax we have here! Sharp, simple, satisfying. He just knew what was on.
Listen, he would have been advised to do that as a kid, and it's obviously etched in his mind now.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Jordan give themselves a chance of a fairy tale finish.
Well, who's under pressure now? It's going to require some inspired defending to stop this lot.
De Bruyne.
Minutos de descuento.
Danger averted for now. We are into stoppage time. And it's Messi. It's a promising run he's making on the right. De Bruyne. That is lovely. That is good strength. That has been slung wide.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Mohamed Salah. Oh, that's fabulous. Great chance. Oh, the ball's run loose here. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Well, that turned out to be quite a game. Both sides committed, determined, driven, and whilst you might argue to the contrary, perhaps a fair... Well, hello and welcome one and all. It's a pleasure to have you with us. As you can see, we are all set. The game should be a truly entertaining one, whichever side of it you find yourself on. We have a grand mass of noise and colour, and the juices are flowing. This, of course, the instantly recognisable backdrop to many a famous European night, football's ultimate theatre. And as you can see, we've already started here.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Kaká unable to make it happen for all his good intentions.
They don't come much harder, Peter, than Giuseppe Bergomi, and I can tell you that from personal experience.
Traditional Italian.
Even his handshake is hard, but a level setter when it comes to discipline and organisation, not to mention his leadership qualities.
Don't argue with him. Threads one in. Pedri. Can he latch on to this?
Oh, that's such a good run. More of that, please.
Another chance from a corner. Jordan with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. Thuram clears it away. And now a sudden chance to counter. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. And it's Messi. Oh, that is a nice touch. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution. Well, neither team has yet managed to impose any authority, and as a consequence, this game's just...
De Jong! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
It was more possible than probable, and the outcome backed it up, Peter.
Succumbs to the pressure. Oh, he's found support out wide. Foot in. Tchouameni. Inter Milan look happy to sit back for the moment here.
Yeah, everything they're doing screams counter-attack.
And Martinez! Goal! Inter! That is just remarkable, the amount of bend he got on that.
Well, the ball flight may be unpredictable, but the predictable part was the technique. It screamed goal all the way.
Inter Milan have fired themselves in front.
Well, this should allow them to be a bit more expansive, although they'll be wise to be cautious for now.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, now... Kaká! They've done it! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
Inter Milan are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
No doubt as to who has the momentum here now. The only doubt is how many is coming.
Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Look, the game is full of ifs and buts. If only the pass could have completed its journey.
Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Thuram is there to clear. Looking for options for movement.
He has saved the goalkeeper's blushes there. What great defending.
That's a shade optimistic. He's gone for goal.
Oh, it's die-hard defence and the willingness to put his body on the line. Very impressive.
Short changes him with that pass. And here's El Shaarawy. De Jong. Passing is crisp and sharp. Barella. Approaching half-time and still behind. Can they make something happen now? Martinez. And Martinez! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he? Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces. Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Jordan are looking to go forward now. Rodri. Still no way through. The defending here is resolute. Messi looking to get on the end of this. Bit of a communication breakdown there, it seems. Barella. Kaka. Well, that's well seen too.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
Thuram! And he's taking no chances there. And the half-time whistle goes. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Yeah, chins have dropped, heads are down, and half-time couldn't have come at a better time.
Se ruega al propietario de un deportivo azul metalizado con matrícula capicúa que acuda urgentemente al aparcamiento.
There's the start of the second half.
Look, before they might get too carried away with thoughts of getting back into the game, they can't afford to slip up and concede another. The next goal becomes crucial.
Messi. Aimed in towards the centre. Jordan have their second corner now. And that has been clubbed away. The message is clear, none shall pass. Kaka, that's really well manoeuvred. Tchouaméni. Quality ball. He could be in here. Great hit! And it's there! And the lead is 3! It is surely done! Well, it would have been harder to miss.
Well, the finish looked a guarantee once he was found all alone, and it's criminal defending.
Inter Milan find a position of real strength now. Gets his pass away.
There's no doubt it's a long way back, but they can at least give us something to believe the gap might be closed.
Adams. Kaka. Thuram. And through to the goalkeeper.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Now it's Ronaldinho. Now it's El Shaarawy. Jordan finding their passes. And he can clear it away. Oh, he's been caught napping. And he's away. Koundé. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. And he's going to be disappointed with that. That's been intercepted.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Kaka. Oh, and he's through the middle. Upamecano promptly onto that, and that is that. Ronaldinho. Oh, he's played it in low. Inter Milan can now introduce the first of their substitutes. That has ended up in no man's land. Pedri. Messi. Played back in. Lovely passing, lovely movement. A terrific header. Oh, brilliant save. It's Ronaldinho. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Kimmich. He gets big! Well, now it's a race for the ball. It's their second corner of the game. Cleared away. Jordan have the chance to go the other way. He's a sharp little ball here. De Jong. He's in plenty of space here. Ronaldinho. And he was alert to it.
Jordan truly seemed to be at loggerheads in trying to sort this out. Is it the passing or the movement that's the problem? I think both.
And it's lofted through here. Lobbed in behind. No, he's just misjudged that one. And that's put paid to a promising move. And here's Mbappe. Into the last 5 minutes. Now it's Messi. Now it's El Shaarawy. Oh, played right into his path. Oh, great. Can he finish? It's loose now and they want to get it back. Goal kick as confirmed by the referee. Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. And as you can see, we've already started here. And it's Messi. And here's Van Nistelrooy. Could be danger here. Oh, that was vital.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Van Nistelrooy. Oh, well played, well sorted out. And it's lofted through here. That has been cut short. And it's Van Nistelrooy. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Well, Peter, here's someone I really like the look of.
El-Shaarawy! Great effort, beautifully taken.
Oh, the technical control was exquisite. The pummeled attempt was exasperating.
Irwin. And that's put paid to a promising move. Alvarez.
That, Peter, is wonderful reading of the game. Perfect positioning. Well played.
Well, he's going to be disappointed with that.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
And now they can clear their lines. Neither side yet able to find the net. Nicely weighted ball. That is good alertness.
Oh, that was expansive and incisive. The type of move to...
Can he finish? There it is!
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
Jordan have penetrated for the first time.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been...
Big chance! Must be! And the shot! He scored! And they're at it again in double quick time!
Yeah, I'd call that transition with bite. They won it back and bit hard.
Jordan are doing very nicely, thank you.
And things are much healthier in their favour. Mind you, you would have thought that when the last one went in.
And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Bastoni gets it away.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Oh, that's a key interception. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Shooting chance! Sticks it away!
Barcelona clearly executed that with considerable confidence. It only took seconds to score once the ball was recovered.
This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, it was important they didn't get ahead of themselves and lose their discipline. This game plan could near well reward them with an equaliser.
Irwin. It's a mighty effort! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Stoichkov clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Oh, red, nice interception. El-Shaarawy is sporting a guilty look after that.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
Oh, that's wonderful alertness. That pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Barcelona clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
That's a throw. Pedri. He could be in here. Oh, nicely intercepted. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Jordan clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing.
And it's Stoichkov. And the shot! And he hits the net. They have grabbed themselves an equaliser.
Well, that's something that'll make the manager proud, because they dug in deep then and they've got their leveller. Well, there's always a chance of being caught like that when you surrender the football.
This has become one superb game of football.
Well, they're very much the better.
And the shot! It's in! Into the lead once more. And that will surely go down as one of the easiest goals he could ever score.
That's just a great finish, but it's down to very clever movement. You can see this has been obviously worked on the training ground. He knew exactly where he wanted the ball and
has a goal! Really well taken goal. And the lead lost no time at all.
Well, going behind has simply triggered a collective determination to hit back, and they merit nothing less. Well, it always comes down to the telling.
Oh, he's been caught napping. Ronaldinho! And he's heaved it away.
Oh, it's die-hard defence and the willingness to put his body on the line. Very impressive.
Modric. And it's Messi. And Dixon. Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. We are into stoppage time. Guti. Guardiola spots it and intercepts. And the referee brings the first half to a close. Jordan playing their part in a real slugfest here. A glut of goals and nothing to suggest much is going to change. No, well, the pickings certainly have been rich in this first half. So it's back to business. No reported change to either side during the break. Well, that's well spotted. Moved on forwards. Now it's Mbappe. Tries to get it clear. And the counter is on. Now it's Ronaldinho. Guti. That's been cut out, well played. Mbappe. Now it's Messi. Now it's Mbappe. Great work on the overlap.
Well, not the worst attempt. A little technical tweak should help the quality.
Should changes him with that pass. And this is... Can he put it away? Goal!
Dependability is one thing, and he brings that to his game. But that sort of dynamism is another attribute he's blessed with, and it's revealed on a regular basis too. Superb.
No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
Barcelona go into the lead.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Ruben Diaz cuts it out. Pedri. quite squeezed that one through.
Jordan are definitely going about this the right way.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
They just need to sort out their end product, and quickly.
Alvarez. Great chance! Ronaldinho. It's Ronaldinho! Oh, nearly, but nearly is nothing.
Well, to put it this way, he's probably made better decisions.
Distributed tidily. Corner given. And we have our very first corner. He's got the shot away! They've scored! A two-goal cushion, and it's looking safe. A finish of great intelligence. He just understood, and he executed so smoothly.
Yeah, the right touch in moments like that is key to what follows. Oh,
Hits one! And he was quick to get it clear again. Oh, good read.
he read that really well and stopped it.
Messi. And now the breakaway. Irwin. Good purposeful running this. Picked out brilliantly. Real chance! He should have put that one away.
Oh, he went for it there knowing full well that it could have all been wrapped up.
And he's made sure that's not getting through. Irwin. Van Nys tries a shot! Oh no, that could be a costly miss. Now it's Ronaldinho. Now it's El Shaarawy. Mbappe. Guti. Now it's Messi. And this is Messi.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And he's there to retrieve it. Ronaldinho. Rodri. Well, played right into his path. That's an excellent interception. And they've got rid. Oh, easy pickings there. And here's Alvarez. Messi. Barcelona clearly now in lead preservation mode. That is a great pick out. And he's managed to get free. Mbappe! And again! Oh, and again! Yes! And the lead is 3! It is surely done! That was a given. It always was.
Yeah, and I think we may have had too many defenders ball watching then because they just lost sight of the real thing.
Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest. A sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us. And we are glad to have you alongside us for it.
What fantastic scenes here in Barcelona. This massive stadium, officially Europe's largest, and from what we understand, about to become even bigger than it is now. Well, if you did just... It's Cavani! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
River Plate with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Pedri gets it away. Facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. And he was quick to react. That is a great pick out. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Well, here's your hero, goal scorer, match winner, saviour, all in one. Lionel Messi is indeed one of a kind, and history shows that he is all of those things and so much more.
Yeah, and we can testify to that, having covered quite a few of those games where he showed the very best qualities.
And time after time, it is a tale of the extraordinary, and we've come to expect the extraordinary from him.
We have.
Oh, he's got that all wrong, and it's a penalty. So a big chance now from 12 yards. The major moment in the game. 1-0, never any doubt. Not much more than a formality.
Yeah, as decisive as it comes. Spot chosen, spot hit.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. El Shaarawy! A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Well, I think the opposition was pretty sloppy in creating a problem for themselves then, but he was onto it so quickly and very nearly made them pay.
Valverde, Ribéry providing an outlet on that flank. Bastoni gets it away. And he's there to retrieve it. Out of play for a throw. El Shaarawy. Now it's El Shaarawy. It's a good foot in there. Well timed, excellent interception. And that is a little undercooked. Gets his pass away. Alvarez in acres of space out wide. That's an excellent interception.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
Now it's Valverde.
Footballing width usually identifies with running room, and we've just seen a prime example.
And the volley. No, not quite.
Look, it was achievable, Peter, but it needed his best.
Now it's Cavani. Messi. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. And he's managed to get free. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly... It's Cavani!
He almost caught everyone out there the way he just eked out the room to get the shot in.
River Plate have their second corner now. He rises! No, he didn't quite meet it right. He won't be happy with that one. Robertson. River Plate finding their passes. Now it's El Shaarawy.
Rodri.
That's a nicely weighted pass.
And that's the end of that. It all started well enough.
Robertson going full tilt down the left.
Played into space out wide.
Bit of a communication breakdown there, it seems. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution.
Ronaldinho!
Jordan can certainly afford to see this half out now and reset during the break.
Now it's Al-Sharawi.
And he's certainly onside here. He's shifting through the gears here.
There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Oh, well played, well played. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half.
Ribery really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Can he finish? He's got a goal! 2 up now, and they are cruising. How very smart. He just got it right.
Yeah, I really can't say enough as to how good the final ball was. It took the defence out of the equation for that split moment, and the damage was all done.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Oh, with this kind of authority.
And Messi!
Messi.
No, again there's no way through. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. And the whistle goes for half-time.
Well, it's hard to say whether a 2-goal advantage under these circumstances is decisive or not, but so far I haven't really seen enough to indicate that the opposition can come out in the second half and improve to that degree.
Jordan sitting pretty here at half-time, 2-0 up.
And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half. No changes at half-time that we're aware of.
Messi was ultimately thwarted there, but it took a few of them to stop him.
Oh, I was on the edge.
Terrific header! Can he stop it going out? Pedri. And it's Cavani. Messi.
Rodri.
That's a good ball out wide. Oh, he's found support out wide.
Van Dijk. Valverde.
Ribery looking to get on the end of this. Koundé defending his corner stubbornly. Stood up very well to his man.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it...
Oh, Sharawi! Yes! And they are pulling clear here. Really tidily gathered and ultimately a more than tidy finish.
Well, he makes finishing look like a matter of fact. Why take extra touches?
And now he has 2. Hits one! He scored! Result no longer in doubt. It's just about how many. Oh, whose goal is that? Big deflection. That's one for the dubious goals panel.
It's become a case of men against boys.
No doubt as to who has the momentum here now. The only doubt is how many is coming.
Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Jordan clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Robertson.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Up he goes! No joy, but a decent try.
Jordan certainly look a very capable counter-attacking team. They're direct, they're quick, and to be honest, they're full of belief that it'll pay off.
Cavani, taken back almost at once. And here's Alvarez. Caught offside that time. Pedri. And it's Cavani.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
Whistle goes again. It's another offside decision. Now it's Messi. Alvarez. He's a sharp little ball. Great hit! Oh, he's kept it out. That's a great save. There's the header. Wow, that's a fine save. Brought out the best in the keeper. It's their second corner of the game. River Plate are looking to go forward now. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Oh, easy pickings there. Messi. Neither of these two want to come off second best. He's picked his way through. That's very neat. Chooses to go back. Pass somewhat off target. Played out to the left flank. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Jordan clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Oh, that's a key interception. Looking for options for movement. El Shaarawy! No, that's just wide.
Jordan were again presented with an opportunity to break and look very, very threatening.
Back into the middle. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Oh, perfectly measured that. Upamecano. And it's Ribery. Cavani. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Now it's El Shaarawy. No way through. Always onto this. Now it's El Shaarawy. Keeper's ball. And the number on the board is 3. Robertson kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Now it's Rodri. And that's gone loose. Messi. Now it's Messi. He's got the shot away! And that is the last effort of the game. Well, that was a shimmering, sizzling, scintillating game. The key characters glittered throughout and did what they did when required so to do. Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest, a sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us, and we are glad to have you alongside us for it. Well, there's a real familiarity about these scenes here, the followers of one of the most formidable teams in the history of football, ensuring that, yet again, this will be an occasion for the game's ultimate glitterati.
Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already.
Aim forwards. Messi. Now it's Messi. Nice interception, well timed. And he cuts out the supply. Mbappe succumbs to the pressure. Mbappe has been caught there, it's a foul. Now it's Mbappe, and it's Cancelo. Del Piero gets his pass away. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
This guy, De Ligt, is very impressive. I mean, how many players get to skipper a top-flight side in their teens? I'm someone who likes to think that I've seen my fair share of defensive greats, but this boy looks to have it all, and if he fulfills his potential, we're in for something special.
No argument from me on that front. It's easy to see how his presence alone affects both sides.
And Neuer pulls off a sensational save!
Jordan with the corner, there first.
Now the finish! What a wonderful goal!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate, on heels rather than toes.
Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
Barcelona finding themselves unexpectedly behind. Ronaldinho. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them.
And the score is 1-0.
Great defending, strong and determined.
Conte.
Messi. Can he get it through? Oh, just skips past his man. Neymar. Shot a goal!
And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Neymar is offering a wry smile there.
Cleared away. Seedorf. And he was alert to it. And he gets rid in a hurry. And now a sudden chance to counter. Messi. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. That has been cut short. Ronaldinho. Now it's El Shaarawy. Who played through for the wide man. Can he put it away? And that is certainly not what he had in mind.
Oh, no, that was a chance. What a chance.
De Ligt gets across to intercept that. Barcelona applying the press here, a high press.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful...
It's Neymar! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
Well, there are a few pockets of space that are being exploited, and they need filling, and fast.
Time and again they are repelled. Del Piero. Del Piero!
Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Corner number 2 then. That has been knocked clear. That is a brilliant interception. Ronaldinho. Jordan are looking to go forward now. Bit of a communication breakdown there, it seems. Seedorf.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed. Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Jordan clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one.
It's Neymar! And that wasn't far away.
Neymar probably tried a bit too hard then. He should have relied on technique as opposed to power.
Barcelona have reclaimed it. And it's Seedorf. And here's Messi. It could be in here.
Decent! There it is!
Looks offside, I think. Yep, the flag is up.
Oh, his goal-scoring celebrations are going to be cut short. The flag was up for offside, even if the referee didn't spot it straight away.
Disappointment and relief on either side. Nothing doing. El-Shaarawy. Great work on the overlap.
Look, movement creates more options, and that was really sharply done.
Seedorf to Messi. And it's Neymar. Good spot, he's seen the run. He's beaten the last man. That's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat then. He just took on one too many.
Messi. No, that's been intercepted. Oh, we expected better, and so did he. Oh, nicely intercepted. And that'll be the final action of the first half. So the end of the first half, both teams have had their moments. There's been no shortage of talking points, but there has been just one goal, and that is the state of it at the break, 1-0.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a genuine flow to this game, as well as intent, but I can't help feeling that their efforts deserved that little bit more.
Jordan go in at half-time with a slender 1-goal lead. There's the shot! It's run loose. Who's going to get there?
Look, it's a run defence's dislike, but the timing has to be spot on.
Del Piero.
Can he finish? It's there! They have come roaring back!
Oh, listen, the writing was on the wall. It looked like this was going to happen, and it has.
And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Barcelona grabbed the equaliser, and we're all square.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Oh, he's found support out wide. Alvarez turns and goes back. João Cancelo. And it's Seedorf. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Oh, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
Ronaldinho.
Now there's a fine ball, and he has been fouled there. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score, and obviously he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
So, power or guile, what's it going to be? And distance is no problem here. The angle's tight for a shot. It's a loose ball. Shapes to shoot! Just not quite happening for him just now.
This is proving to be a very good spell. The intensity is great, but they've got to make it count.
But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
And here's Ronaldinho. João Cancelo cuts it out. Mbappe, given the lift of his goal, taken back almost at once. Ronaldinho. Rodri. Stood up well to him there. Del Piero. Alvarez. Oh, no joy this time. Looking for the run. Mbappe. Now it's Mbappe. And he's there to clear it. And reclaimed it in a trice. And it's Conte. Seedorf showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Well read, nice interception. Nicely spread. He's shifting through the gears. Real chance! Goal! Barcelona! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! Oh, that is a sweet finish, gorgeously controlled and ruthlessly dispatched.
Oh, what a touch. I mean, how good was that? Poetry in motion.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Yeah, they deserve great credit for turning things around, but they'll now need the defensive resilience to equal that attacking flair.
João Cancelo appears to be in some real discomfort. Is it his leg?
Yeah, and, you know, I think it appears to have been bothering him for a while.
But it appears he's going to be okay, at least for now.
Cambio de jugadores en el Barcelona.
We have got changes here, from both sides in fact. A swift reaction then, and the boss opting to reshuffle his defence.
Look, only time will tell now if this is the right decision, but at least the manager hasn't dawdled. You know, he's reacted quickly, and it needed that.
Ronaldinho. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Now it's Drogba. He's under a lot of pressure there. De Jong. Oh, that's well spotted. Ribéry. And he skips past his man. Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. Oh, good spread. Ribéry. Now it's Mbappe. Defending of the desperate variety. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Now that's well seen too. And it's Messi. Messi going face to face with his great rival. He's had a shot! And that would have been game, set and match.
Hernandez was totally aware of how that chance...
There's a player in need of attention here.
Yeah, and I hope for his sake that it's cramp, meaning it'll be a quicker fix.
Looks as though he's going to see if he can shake it off.
Cambio de jugadores en el Barcelona.
The changes then in quick succession.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Marquinhos. Mbappe. Opts to play. Tries a shot! Oh, just lacked a decent finish. That's a shade optimistic.
Jordan have a simple task to find something sustained now and keep...
Oh, shooting chance! He's got a goal! We thought it was over! It's all square once more! It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
All square again into the dying minutes.
It just goes to show you what determination can achieve. OK, there isn't much time left, but if we have to find a winner now, there's no question who I'll be backing.
Too much on it, and that's the keeper's. Now it's Ribery. And he's intervened well there. And we're done. A draw, and a highly unpredictable one. Fair share of momentum shifts. Highly entertaining until the very end. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always...
Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. What fantastic scenes here in Barcelona. This massive stadium, officially Europe's largest, and from what we understand, about to become even bigger than it is now. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. And it's Messi. Alvarez. Nicked it back promptly. And he's there to get it away. Oh, played right into his path. And he's managed to get free. And he's heaved it away. El Shaarawy proving a very adept defender. It was a good tackle too.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that these days, all part of a forward's duties.
Now it's Ronaldinho. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Played back in. Pickford gets it away. And they're quick to get it back. Plays a sharp little ball here. And the keeper's got it again. Alvarez. Messi. Quick look, then plays it in.
Giuliano Belletti will undoubtedly have a very busy game here, Peter. He's good going in both directions and has a very impressive engine.
One of those who's become a cult hero for every club he's represented. Famously, of course, 3 years in Catalonia and 1 goal, the winner in a European final.
Yeah, well, who could forget that? But first and foremost, I see him as someone who always puts in an honest shift. He'll do everything his manager asks him to do and will rarely let you down.
And they're not going to make any further progress now. He's played him through. Well read, nice interception. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
No, that was never going to make it. Back into the middle. Backward. El Shaarawy! Oh, denied brilliantly!
El Shaarawy really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Jordan with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. There's the header! And now a sudden chance to counter. Well, that pass isn't the best. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
That has ended up in no man's land. Ronaldinho is offering some sort of an apology there.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
He's onside. Ødegaard deals with that comfortably. Oh, that's well spotted. Now it's Ronaldinho. Played out wide. Pedri. That's cause for mild irritation. Not sure how the stats look in terms of expected goals, but nothing actual has materialised so far. Ødegaard.
Ronaldinho. Oh, nicely intercepted. Oh, given away. Alva. There's the hit! Goal!
Well, players of his stature just live for moments like that. Another really important contribution as we near half-time, and it can make such an impact on each mindset.
Oh, that is a sweet finish, gorgeously controlled and ruthlessly dispatched.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think...
And we've reached half-time. Well, a very decent watch up to now, but just the one goal so far. It has been competitive and combative throughout.
Yeah, on the face of it, it looks a fair reflection of what we've all seen, Peter. Some incisive play one side, battling qualities on the other. I think this game is there to be won, and a minor tweak maybe all it needs to change it.
Jordan go in at half-time with a slender one-goal lead.
Se va a realizar un cambio de jugadores.
Whistle goes, and we start the second half.
Jordan definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early minutes trying to kill this off.
Kunde. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. Here's Rodri. Belletti. Marquinhos. Haaland. And Mendes. And that has put paid to that. Mendes is very much the model of the modern-day fullback. Alvarez. And the flag has stayed down. He's not got that quite right. Haaland. Just coming up to the hour mark, and it's still 1-0. That looks a good ball through. Bastoni promptly onto that, and that is that. Ronaldinho. The only breakthrough then came late in the first half here, and that is the difference. And the score is 1-0. Dybala engages and forces him off the ball. Ronaldinho. He's got away. El-Shaarawy. There's the shot! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. It's their second corner of the game. Fluminense are looking to go forward now. Pass somewhat off target. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
He made it look a bit predictable. That was expansive and incisive, the type of move to please any coach.
And again! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, while the temptation's always there, Peter, I think it would be ill-advised of them to try settle for what they've got.
Belletti. Bellingham.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
And it's Ronaldinho. Not the most accurate pass. Dybala. Now it's Mbappe. Clips it so gently. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here.
Oh, easy pickings there. Ronaldinho is the guilty party there. That's a little off target. Nuno Mendes. Challenge just a bit on the firm side.
Jordan surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
And it's Ronaldinho. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Musiala. That has not gone well. Good ball over the top. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Ronaldinho. Oh, that's a key interception. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace. Yeah, it's safe to say that they just need to manage this to secure the win now.
Haaland. Nuno Mendes. Jordan close now to seeing this one through to the end.
Look, this is so frustrating. Passing without any end product is just passing time.
Oh, played through for the wide man. And he's intervened well there. Belletti. That's a nicely measured pass. And that will be it. Jordan have done it. Their solitary strike ultimately proving just enough. A terrific win, however you look at it. Alvarez taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match.